you're wondering what to feed your bees this time of year, sugar syrup really doesn't work, only because they're only going to take it if it's above 50 degrees. They can't turn it into honey. Pollen is actually going to get your queen to start laying, and if you get those cold mornings, it's just not really time. If you want to know when to bring pollen is, just watch your bees, and when they start bringing pollen in, then you can start giving patties. Hey, Rox. What I feed, I just stick to sugar patties. Sugar patties are fondant, and so it's bad enough that we got to fight the mites and the beetles. You don't want to lose your bees to starvation. That's something that really can be prevented. Well, even the mites can be prevented, but this is an easy problem to fix. You know, it's been a long winter. Today's the last day of March. We're finally going to get a nice 60-degree day tomorrow. Well, not nice. It's going to rain. It's going to be 60 though, but I tried to dig a hole the other day and it was frozen still. Be sure to get out to your bees and feed them. You know, pour some sugar in there, bake up some sugar patties. As soon as you start having 50-degree days and above regularly, then I would throw some sugar in there. But some of these hives might die. You don't want that moisture in the hive. The sun comes out, you'll hit that the sun will hit the hive. All that moisture will be in the hive and the whole thing will mold. You don't want that. So that's why I stick to sugar patties early season. That's what I'm doing right now is I'm watching my hives. I'm making sure that there's sugar in there for them to eat if they need it, you know, because they're not going to take it unless they absolutely need it. And it'll keep them alive as long as you keep feeding them until they can get out and start making their own food. Just think of all the time and money you've invested, and you know, it's kind of cold right now and nobody wants to get out there, but well, some of you are really excited to get into the bees, but just make sure. I know we get really busy and it's tough to make time sometimes, but it's so important to get into your hives. You know, an easy recipe is just 4 pounds of sugar. They come in those 4-pound packets, and 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. And that's your sugar patty mix. Mix that up. You're gonna wanna put down some parchment paper on a baking sheet and pour that into the baking sheet and smooth it out with a spoon. I use a cup of water, I dip the spoon, and that keeps the sugar from sticking to the spoon. And then I'll put it into the fridge. I then use a cookie cutter to slice even pieces, and I'll use a spatula to remove them and put them into a Tupperware container until I can get them out to the apiary. Lots of mice. Whoa! Holy moly. A big killer in bees is starving. And these hives, these colonies just ran out of food. And some of these hives that maybe were late swarms or, you know, just splits that just didn't take off maybe. But, you know, that isn't such a bad thing. Sometimes when hives are too big, that means that there's more varroa mite in the hive. And unless you're knocking that down and controlling that, you know, those are vulnerable, those big hives. So sometimes when hives are smaller, that's not a bad thing. But bees are so testy. This time of year, they'll come out headbutting you, throwing elbows. I already fed all the hives and I almost didn't record putting a sugar patty in a hive. Let me suit up because this bee keeps buzzing me. Looks like they got lots of sugar. don't see any bees flying over here, so I assume maybe they've already gone through this hive. Oh, there's a bee. Just checking to see. That one's pretty empty. That one's pretty empty. Well, still got some sugar in it. There's just not a lot of bees flying today, I think. Oh, there's a bee right there. And that's the deal. I think once we have some warmer days, they'll come dry this all up. But at that point, I'm going to have to freeze it because of wax moths. They'll hatch, and they'll destroy your frame. All the comb will just, you'll have to cut it all out, and it could be disgusting and moldy and furry and